6:38 at WIBX, and what a beautiful weekend that continues here. We're going to go up into the 70s again today with sunshine. Another really, you know what happens is when you go outside, in the wintertime, it's so quiet. But the minute things get nice, the minute you get a nice day, you go outside and there's noise in the neighborhoods and people are talking and mowing and yelling and screaming. I don't know what it is that gets people all upset. It's sunshine. It's beautiful out. But I guess you have to get stuff done. So I was, I'll tell this quickly, I had my own road rage moment over the weekend.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Were you the victim or the perpetrator?
Well, it depends on if you're talking to me or my wife.
Okay, what would your wife say?
She said I could have done things differently.
Mm-hmm.
So here's
about what happened.
So here's how I stop
you in
at
general?
I stop at a stoplight, and it's red, and all of a sudden the light turns green, and I go to take my me of all people. I'm not I drive quite fast.
I can attest to that.
I try to go, but anyway, apparently I wasn't going fast enough for Johnny Rocket. I'll get into it coming up. I do want to talk to tomorrow is the big day here. I'll get in. It was bad. It was bad. I'm just saying it was bad. It and visions of this terrible tragedy. Will Smith was going through my head.
Was your daughter in the car?
Yeah, which is why I became I call myself a coward. I have to look at myself this way. I did the right thing. But I was a coward in this situation because I drove off. I had to.
Well, I got to hear the whole story. I got to hear the
guy's charging our car, and my
Are you
daughter's
kidding
in the
me?
car. Honest to God. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So
well, see,
we'll get into it.
Okay.
We'll get into it. Tomorrow's a big day. It's the primary, and you're still. Don't be surprised if we don't get visited by somebody still today, as they're campaigning across the state. Of course, both Republicans and Democrats going at it tomorrow in the big primary, and on the line right now is Rachel Sutherland from Fox News. Rachel, good morning. And what are we looking at here? Trump's still with a lead on the Republican side, but they're battling over these delegates.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we do see a sizable lead in New York for Donald Trump, 52%, and an average of polls ahead of Kasich with 23%, and then Ted Cruz down around 17%. You know, he had that New York values debacle. But there is a battle over the allocation of delegates. We've been hearing about this a lot, and Donald Trump feels that the nomination could be, quote, stolen from him because of the way that the party does things.
Yeah.
So what we have in New York is, I believe, around 95 delegates, and then we have the situation in which Trump must win 50% of the vote in all the districts and able to claim so he can get all of those delegates. If it gets less than half, then you'd have a second place finisher or somebody else picking up some of those delegates.
What is interesting here in New York is it goes by congressional district and not by the overall. I mean, that makes it a very complicated process if you're running.
You're telling
right?
me. I mean, I have to look at this stuff every day.
Yeah, right. And to be covering it, imagine, Manaski.
You know, and Rachel, can you explain this? Because there's 27 districts in New York, and if it's three delegates per district, 27 and 3 is 80-something. Where are the other 14, 15 delegates coming into play?
Okay, they're 95. So where they're coming from is that they are at large, which means that they can swing any way they want.
Okay.
Okay.
So when they go to the convention, they could go against whatever their district did.
Okay. So maybe he wouldn't get all 95, even if he wins better than 50 in every district.
Oh, right. No, you're exactly right about that. He may not.
Oh, okay.
Well, and you know, everybody's all up in arms over this whole thing, but in reality, this is the system. This is the way it's always been done. I know the rules change in election cycles, but it's only been a few times we've been in this position where the popular vote might not result in the actual nominee.
Well, that's right. I mean, the Republican Party and the Democrats, too, pick their nominees via the delegate process. And this is something we usually don't talk about a whole lot because it usually doesn't come down to this. And so there's a lot of discussion about it, but I was hearing one lawmaker point out that even Abraham Lincoln was nominated by delegates by the party. And so it's not as cut and dry as people think, and it's not based on the popular vote.
But isn't it interesting to listen to Trump's speeches where it's like this just was done? And I mean, it's not fair. Had he been winning, there'd be we wouldn't be hearing any of this.
No, why would we? We wouldn't hear a peep about it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that so many people are engaged by this process. I mean, as crazy as it is for us as broadcasters, the fact that so many people care about it and are trying to be educated about the process is great.
We're all getting a bunch of after-school special lessons.
Yes.
In civics class, and it is. It's fascinating to talk about.
Yeah.
But when it comes to how it's really going to impact, I mean, obviously Donald Trump is going to do well in New York. It's just a matter of how many delegates he'll take away, and then the states beyond that, Pennsylvania and so on. He's got to do well. It could really come down. We hear about this all the time, but it could come down to contested convention. I'm still leaning toward, that's a possibility.
It's going to make Cleveland very interesting in July. So, all right, Rachel Sutherland, thanks so much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks.
All right, Rachel Sutherland, Fox News. You know that I was going to say this. I didn't want to offend her, but did you see that over the weekend they released jobs? These are the most popular, either the most popular and unpopular jobs or the most hated careers. And newscaster turned out to be either the most unpopular or most hated.
By the people who have the job or the people who...
That's a very good question.
Well, yeah, I mean, that could go either way.
Good question. Maybe both. Could be.
We love our job.
6:45, Christine with an update right now. Good morning.